Hey everyone, how's it going? We're about to get started just in a few minutes, so yeah, feel free to talk and chat. Let me also share our check-in link. Alright, so I just sent out the check-in link, so feel free to go there, check in for this event. Um, Sorry about the brightness. My setup's right in front of my window, so I guess it's just right. So bear with me. But yeah, I'll get some slides up as well. Be just a sec. Alrighty, and yeah, about to get started. I think first thing I just want to ask from y'all while I'm going through just like general intro stuff is what do you want to see from this presentation? Like, given the title "Beginner's Guide to Hackathons," what's something that you want to learn or have a confusion about that you want to get addressed? Just because I want to make sure that this workshop is useful for you, so I'm not just talking at you. So if you have questions or things that you want to learn about with hackathons, post them in chat, and I'll be sure to go over them during the presentation. But without further ado, let me just. There we go. But yeah, without further ado, I guess I can get started. So just a little bit about myself. So hi, my name is Zane. I'm an MLH coach, and I'm also one of the MLH Top 50. I was the Top 50 back in 2021. I'm also the director of VT Hacks, which is Virginia Tech's flagship hackathon. We're actually doing an event in November, and we're coming up on our 10th anniversary, so that's a very long time. So that's a big accomplishment. In total, I've supported around 50 plus hackathons or so as a mentor, as a judge, helping out with logistics, things like that. So definitely have a lot of experience in that regard. I also have software development experience. I'm mostly into data science, kind of back-end stuff. And I interned at General Mills as a software developer. Just a bit of a timeline for this workshop. So first thing I'm just going to be talking about when you're starting out and you have no idea where to go, what to do, what you should do, and how you can kind of get the most out of a hackathon experience. Then how you can go about forming a team and actually creating and ideating your project, and then ultimately how to present your project to judges. And odds are if there's an MLH event near you that I'm staffing, I'll be judging the MLH categories there. And I'll be doing a full Q&A at the end, but as I'm going through the presentation, I'll be checking back in the chat for any questions. So if you're just post them up in chat, and I'll answer them as I go. So just some general things with hackathons is there are many activities at hackathons, stuff that isn't even related to programming. So for example, at VT Hacks, some of the stuff that we're planning to have is, as you expect, like workshops on like intro to web dev or intro to AI, stuff like that. But we also have fun activities as well, like we're having a Smash tournament. I'm doing a live stream for a Pokemon randomizer Nuzlocke. So that'll be fun. So we have all kinds of stuff there, and we're actually, for us in particular, we're doing prizes for like the tournament winners and things like that. So there's definitely a lot you can get out of just doing the social activities. Also, just talk to people. That's something I just don't see enough people doing, if I'm honest, even though it's seemingly obvious. Just because a lot of people, when they start out, they kind of get really fixated on their project and they kind of lose sight of the rest of the hackathon, which it's understandable, but I think that there's a lot of value you can get out of just talking to the other attendees there, because one of the biggest things you're going to get out of a hackathon experience isn't just winning a prize. Of course, winning is great, but it's the connections that you're going to make at the hackathon. And also just enjoy your hack. Just do something fun, creative, something that you're actually like passionate about. When I judge projects, one of the biggest things I see in successful projects is just projects that have some kind of backstory, or the creator, the hackers who created it, had some kind of personal connection to like the problem they were trying to solve, stuff like that. Yeah. And also just learn something new. Like my first hackathon, I didn't know very much about programming at all. I created an ML hack and I actually won Best in Machine Learning at that event. At the time, I kind of got carried by my teammate. But over time, I actually did machine learning and artificial intelligence stuff at my internship. So it's definitely just a step on the way to learning. So don't be nervous about doing something you aren't familiar with. Hackathons are a great place to do that, especially because you'll learn a lot of those granular skills that you wouldn't in like just like a programming guide or something like that. Now, on to finding team members. Just one general thing I think is important to just kind of keep in mind is that not everyone is the best at programming, but they can still have a really great impact on your project, and they can be a really good asset to your team. I've seen many projects where the winning team didn't program very much at all, or it may not have even been particularly technically impressive, but the use case or the thought behind it, the idea, stuff like that, really pulls it forward. And fun fact: 50% of hackers at a hackathon are attending for the first time on average. So if you haven't attended a hackathon yet, odds are you're in the same room with where 50% of the people there are just like you, like they haven't attended a hackathon before. Because hackathons just aren't all about programming and high-tech solutions. It's also about business knowledge, specialized knowledge in like a certain topic. Even if you don't hack much, but you like cooking a lot and you create a cooking related hack that utilizes programming, that's your information and knowledge on that is huge. So you don't have to just be a programming whiz. We also got some new people I can see. So just as a reminder, I'm going to be accepting questions in the chat as I go, and I'm going to continuously check that. So if you have questions about hackathon stuff for beginners, stuff like that, just post them in the chat and I'll answer it as I go. But yeah, in terms of finding team members, that's a bit. Really, that's the name of the event. Alright, so attending teamwork formation events, if you don't have a team, it's really good. They're usually at the very beginning of the event, so you don't have to look too hard to find them. And even if there isn't one, you can usually find a team formation channel on the Discord or Slack of your event. And you should be able to go there and just make a post about yourself. You can talk about stuff like programming knowledge you have, other like specialized knowledge you have on like different topics. Do you have like ideas, or is there like a particular track, like prize track that you are looking to go for? You can find team members that way. If you have friends who can go with you, that's a really great way just to chill and have a great time with friends, because as an organizer personally, like, having hackers like create a hack and submit something is great. But even if someone just shows up for some free food, free swag, and like learn something along the way about programming, like they attend a workshop or something, that's like equally valuable to me, just because I want to make it so that more people are getting into programming, even if they're not creating a full project full stop. And there's a lot of different things you can look for, kind of like I mentioned before. There's a lot of different people that go to hackathons. I think at the MLH State of the League talk, they said around 46% of hackers in the MLH community are women or non-binary, which is really cool. So there are a lot of people from a lot of different demographics. I myself from a non-traditional background. So I would encourage you to team up with a lot of different people, especially people who you normally wouldn't be able to work with. You should try and look at your own skills and kind of see where you might be lacking, and kind of find other teammates that kind of complement you in that way. So for example, like if you're mainly experienced in front end, I would encourage you to find people in back end, people in design, people with like specific knowledge about a specific project who can kind of create the idea, stuff like that. Just so you aren't like pigeonholed to one specific thing, you have, a wide array of experiences. Another thing is DevHost, which I would encourage you to check out. So this is an example. This is our VTX DevHost last year. But just kind of to give a rough idea of how to kind of look at this. One, the requirements. I see a lot of people skip this. There's a lot of great information here. I've actually shortened this for VTX 10, which is coming up, just so because I know this is a lot of text. But there's a few key things here, like we have an example post on what you might want to include in your submission. We have details on when submission is, the requirements. We have a FAQ here, so if you have like a question about, oh, is this allowed, like it's probably answered here. Another thing is the prizes. So people love different prizes. So it's kind of good to look at all the prizes and figure out from there which ones you kind of want to go for. So for example, if I'm like really into getting those, into getting the Wacom drawing tablet, because I'm really into graphics stuff, I would try to kind of look for team members who are really into front end or design. And then let's say I also really want to create a website, like I want to make a really nice looking website. I can use domain.com's free domain and potentially win that prize. And stuff like that is how I would go about thinking it. Back to the presentation. And one last thing I just want to say, in regards to like if you aren't the most experienced in programming, I think that there's a common misconception I've seen in terms of hacking and just in the tech community in general, which is having a lot of experience means that you're the best person to work with, or like you're a really good person to work with on like a project or something. That is not the case in my experience. I've seen so many people who are like really good at programming, they're terrible to work with. Or like I've seen people who have zero programming experience, but they're like really good to work with and you actually get a lot done with them. Like for example, I worked at like an actual job and I worked with a senior developer who's been there for I don't know how many years, decades. And they labeled stuff like dummy 1, X, like stuff like that. Granted, they said the script they were making was more so for themselves, but even so, that's like not good programming practice at all. Especially when they need to transition that stuff to other people. That's a little bit of a rant on my end, but it just goes to show that just the experience really doesn't mean a ton. It really depends on the person and how they actually work together with people. So I wouldn't judge people by their experience at all. And actually at VT Hacks 9, the second place project overall, I believe, was like all first timers. So there's definitely a lot of experience, a lot of potential for first timers to win. But now that so if you've found a team and you just want to go from there, the first thing you should do is talk. It's the number one thing I don't see enough people doing at all, and it drives me crazy. Just because I think it's a really big missed opportunity on their end. Just because a lot of people, like I said, they kind of go straight into their project and they just focus solely on their project. And I think that realistically, you're going to be working with these people for like, hi, what topic are we talking about? We're talking about a few different things. So the workshop overall is just a beginner's guide. So right now I'm talking about finding team members, and around now I'm kind of going into, once you found team members, kind of brainstorming, actually creating a project idea, how to kind of go about that. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now. Like I was saying, if you're working with people for the next few days, you should probably just try to get to know them better, whether it's like as friends or just in general. Like I said, connections are like the number one thing you'll get out of hackathons. And talking to teammates can provide a lot of value, even related to like your projects. And they're very good for brainstorming ideas. So, for example, if you ask them like, how did you get into programming? What are your like hobbies? Just like tell me about yourself. That could be a really good segue into actually getting your project idea. If someone's like, oh, I'm interested in this thing because I'm interested in cooking because I didn't grow up around parents who cooked well, or I'm passionate about doing stuff for like community service because there's like this need in my community, for example. Like that stuff is really great for project ideas, and like I said, some of the best projects I see are ones with a backstory, or with a problem that people are really passionate about. And the main reason for that is just that people often they often actually tackle the problem correctly, because sometimes I see people trying to throw a neural network or AI at a certain problem, which can be very helpful. It's very powerful technology. But a lot of times what I've seen is that it actually isn't suited to that problem in the way that they're implementing it, or it may actually, in reality, if it was actually implemented, might do more harm than good. So that's something that I think is important. And now onto just brainstorming to how to actually come up with an idea. Like I mentioned, just think about a problem you've personally faced. And I think one specifically important thing here is, why is it an issue in the first place? I think kind of understanding that is definitely a key part in making a good solution and a good hack, especially if it's like a great problem, like a social issue, something like that. But you can actually create projects. You can actually create really good projects that aren't, related to like a huge issue or anything like that. Is it this event? VT hacks. CVTX6. Okay, I think it was this one. So one of the winning projects of this hackathon, something called the Doom Furby. So if you see by this thumbnail, this lets you know you're in for a good time. So basically, what these people did, it was during that fun phase in the internet where people were programming the game Doom on a bunch of different things, and they basically took apart a Furby, which, if you don't know what a Furby is, it's a really creepy ass toy from the 90s. It looks kind of like this. I don't even know what this is. It's like my sleep paralysis demon. Anyway, they programmed Doom on it. And yeah, they weren't trying to solve a huge social issue. They're just creating a Doom Furby, and they did it, and they won people's choice. So you definitely don't have to create something that's like a big social issue related project. But if you do, I would definitely encourage you to actually research your problem. Think about the existing approaches there are to it, like why those approaches may not be the best, or like what they aren't doing well. Hello, 4 Not Fun. I feel like I've seen you in Discord before. I remember there were a bunch of MLHers and I in, I think, the Hacky Hangouts channel in the Discord, and you were there. So hi. Yeah, right now we're just talking about brainstorming. I'm everywhere at MLH. Yeah, I see you a lot. But like I was saying, yeah, just think about also just creative solutions. Like as a judge, if you're reviewing like 50 something projects, one of the things that definitely sticks out to you is a project that tackles a solution creatively, either like a common problem with a novel solution or a tackling a novel problem in the first place. And also research, because a lot of people don't do much research, or they focus a lot more on the hack, which is important. But I think being able to explain to judges like why your issue matters, providing, if you want to provide statistics, you can. I think it's just a generally good thing, because often what I see, even just outside of hackathons, like in general, with tech roles, a lot of developers get lost in the tech that they're using, and they kind of lose sight to like the problem at hand. And if you do proper research, you not only ensure that your solution is more practical, but you're just like the specific pain points of the issue. How do you find projects when there are absurdish themes? Could you give me an example? I don't know. I've seen a lot of different themes at hackathons. They haven't really been absurdish. But yeah, if you could find an example of like an absurdish theme, I could definitely work that out for you. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna open the next minute if anyone has any questions, otherwise I'll move on. Yeah, so if you have questions, just put them in chat. I can answer them, because I know that was a decent bit of information. No, like, interesting, but not something we'd usually consider as a problem. Okay, that's what you mean. So I think in that case, you don't necessarily have to address a problem. You could just create something cool, like what I showed before with the with the Doom Furby, because it was a project that wasn't solving anything. They were literally just trying to emulate Doom on Furby. There are all sorts of projects like that where they aren't trying to do anything, like, you know, trying to solve a problem even. Let's see if there are any other ones. So like this one, it isn't solving a huge problem, but it's a problem that I think a lot of people can relate with, like helping roommates stay and organize and avoid arguments, because I guarantee a lot of us have had really annoying roommates or something like that. Yeah, so I would say something like that. If you want to talk about, let's see, like hacks from past is not a problem. So hack from past, I assume that's just like a hackathon prompt you got from somewhere. Hacks from past, well, it's not a problem, but I guess it's just a theme. So if that's the theme, maybe, honestly, Doom Furby seems like it could fit there, because Doom is a game from like 1993, and if you want to create like a retro hack, this is actually a perfect fit. Doom Furby is actually a very perfect fit for that theme in general, because Furby was made in 1998, which I guess that's showing my age, but that was during my childhood, but it's like 20 something years ago. And Doom was made in like 1993, so it's definitely like a hack from the past in that way, right? Like it's yeah, I think that's a good example as a hack from the past. Hey, can I do a project with a team and another single project? I would read your hackathon rules. So, like I mentioned, Jesus, this slide is a lot. I'm like right in front of my window. Hacks and post. Yeah, if you have a question about that, I would look at your specific dev post for your hackathon, because different hackathons have different kinds of rules. So this is VTX 9. It was our VTX event from last year as an example. So we have a Q&A here. So are hackers allowed to work on multiple teams across one event or multiple submitting projects? We have it as no, so you're not allowed to do it. So it's just one hacker can work on one project, whether that's by yourself or whether that's with a team. That's how a lot of hackathons I know mostly do it. I think most of them, if not all of them, have done it that way. But if there are exceptions, you can either look at the dev post, or if you have a question, there's usually an Ask an Organizer channel somewhere, or an FAQ channel in the Discord or whatever point of communication you have. You should just ask there, just to clarify, because different hackathons have different rules about that. If you have other questions, just put them in chat. I'll keep track of that as I go along. But with regards to working remotely, because now given COVID, hackathons are returning in person, like VTX 10, which is coming up in November, is going to be fully in person. But there are a lot of digital hackathons now. Like I know the MLH hackathons, we have 2 every weekend, which is a lot. We have one for like the North America time zone, one for like the Asia time zone, so people don't have to like wake up at 5 a.m. to do stuff. But yeah, given that working remotely is now part of our lives, I think it's useful to kind of go into how you got to do that. So like I mentioned, experience doesn't necessarily relate to skill. But in terms of working remotely, the most important thing is communication, which sounds cliche because it is, but it's really important to not just have communication, but have consistent communication, especially when you're remote and you can't just like tap someone on the shoulder to talk to them. Like how I mentioned before, how you want to get to know your teammates as people and not just like start working on them with the project immediately. This is a good example of how that can kind of benefit you overall. So like, it helps to build trust, and it makes it just more comfortable to talk to people, especially if like, someone has a critique on your idea. It doesn't mean they're attacking you, but it's a lot more comfortable to kind of share critiques about ideas when you like to actually talk to that person as like a friend. So yeah, communication, especially consistent communication. So having things like, oh, we'll like every hour we'll talk, or every like 3 hours we'll talk and catch up on like what we were doing, our progress, how's it going, is anything not working, something like that. Or if it's like, we're all just gonna work in a Discord voice channel, we're just gonna stay there and we'll talk if we want to. Just having a clear thing like that is very good. Because the last thing you want is working on something at 3 a.m. because you weren't thinking of asking, or you were kind of shy to ask for help, and you realize your project isn't going to work out. And the reason I'm bringing up that specific example is because I've had that experience before when I was starting out, so I know how it is. So yeah, definitely ask your teammates for help, because even if someone isn't necessarily like a front-end person, like the only front-end person on our team, like if you need help on something, ask them, just because having more than one head thinking about something is better than one. All right, so now I'll kind of go into the just like a flow chart of like, so if you have like a project idea, how you want to go about ideating it and how you want to go about actually working on it, which that's really useful in like a virtual format, but also works plenty in person too. But let's say I want to make a website about a given topic. So first step is obviously brainstorming, but then you want to kind of take one of two paths, creating a static website or creating a dynamic website. So static website would be just like static information. It's not like interactive. It's easier, first of all, but also it's good for just displaying information that doesn't need to be updated or anything. Whereas a dynamic website is something that's interactive, like it's storing information either through like a user profile, like a forum, it's like updated constantly, stuff like that. So it really depends on what you want to do. So for example, you might want a dynamic website if you're creating like a social media hack or something like that. Or a hack that has like a forum on it if it's like an app. Or you might just want to go through static if you are just displaying information like, I don't know, like an FAQ on your website, or just, just text. because doing a static website, like, yeah, it's maybe not as in-depth, but the time that you're saving by doing a static website, which is easier, you can spend that time doing other parts of your hack. So for example, if you are mainly doing like an ML or AI related hack, you can basically save some time by not having to focus too much on your front end and put that into your ML model. Because maybe having a dynamic site isn't a huge part of your hack. All right, and then kind of identifying your focus. So there's a few different components to the website, more than what I'm having here, but this is just an example. But like your visuals, so if you want like a really good looking website, or if you want something interactive, like I mentioned, like a forum or something like that, or just simplicity, like if you just want something that displays information in a easy to understand way and it's easier for people to navigate around. And then going from there, kind of understanding what you would need to achieve those things. Granted, like ideally you would have all of these, but in a hackathon setting, I would encourage you to focus more on 2 of these rather than all 3, as an example. So if I'm making a hack for like the elderly, like if I'm making a hack, it's like a social good hack, it's for like elderly people to help them with something, I don't know. Rather than, I think the things I would focus on are visuals and simplicity, just because, well, if they're old, they'll probably want simplicity because a lot of old people aren't great with tech. Visuals because, especially because a lot of them can't see well, but you want something that just looks nice. And a lot of old people, if they can't use tech super well anyway, you might just need to just display information to them. So you may not need to focus as much on interactivity. So that's where you can kind of focus on like, okay, here's what we want to do, and here's how we want to like here's how we want to like create tasks on like what actually needs to get done. Which language is best to make a website more fluid? It depends. You can use HTML. You can use something like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, like a core like that. You can use, I know Vue and TypeScript is something we use a lot for our VT Hacks website. As an example, we have this one right here. We use Vue and TypeScript for that. You can also use frameworks, which are very, very helpful. It's like React or Angular are very popular ones, just because they allow you to more quickly develop things. So you don't have to create a great looking website entirely from scratch. You can use these frameworks as a base. So yeah, Angular, React, but also it depends on your tech stack, right? So for example, if you're familiar with Python, but you're not really familiar with like a lot of front-end languages like JavaScript, maybe you want to go with Flask, because Flask is very Python friendly. So I would kind of go about it that way. But also just depends on the techniques you use, even outside of the language, like having a, like a GIF on here that kind of moves like this, just helps to make the website feel more alive. Having like on these, we're gonna add an animation soon, because this website is still in progress, but adding like slide-in animations for these, having like this just like a fade in, stuff like that. I think even regardless of the language, I think could definitely make it more look more fluid in the eyes of the user. So yep, if you have more questions, keep putting them in chat. Let me go back to the presentation. But yeah, like visual CSS, like I mentioned this. And then from that, like I mentioned, you can actually create tasks. So if you're actually creating milestones of like, okay, at this time we want to have our product in this state where it's like this level of ready, or we want to have these things done. So for example, if you're creating like an app, you want to like, or a website, you want to like create the layout, set on like the color scheme, the assets, like mobile formatting, and then actually like adding the content, which is usually the last steps. And then having your regular check-in with your teams, like a progress check. Is everything good? Is anything not working? / do you think you're not going to be able to get stuff done in time? And actually like re-strategizing your goals based on that. I think it's important to have those conversations. FMLH.io. If you're also looking for just like hacker resources, this is especially good if you're using an MLH, if you're doing a track on, or one of MLH's tracks. So for example, if I want to learn more about doing Google Cloud stuff, I can go to hackpack.gcp, and it gives a brief overview, gives a general description and all these kind of learning paths. And there's lots of different resources you can go from here, like the blog and everything like that. Resources. And yep, last thing here is just presenting and judging. So I've judged many hackathons, so I've had a decent amount of experience on this as a judge, so I can kind of give you some tips on like what I've seen done well, what I've seen done not so well. So first of all, so first, the presentation, you got to make sure your video is within the time limit. If you have it in person, there's usually some kind of time limit in person, like you have 2 minutes, for example, to demo your hack. It should mostly be a live demo, realistically, because 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever it is isn't a lot of time. So you want to provide some background info. I think that's really nice as a judge, especially when you explain like why you wanted to make this hack in the first place. Like, you know, like I mentioned before, like the challenges you faced, like other like existing solutions you saw and what your solution does differently. Stuff like that is cool to show. If you have statistics, sure, but realistically the majority of your presentation should be a live demo of your hack, because you want to show everything that you can. And also just, yeah, like I mentioned, explain what the problem you're trying to solve, and keep in mind the judging criteria. So these are just examples, but for VTX, we have our judging criteria. It's usually at the bottom of dev post pages, or you could just ask the organizers, like, is there any criteria? But usually it's something like this, where it's like technical complexity, like how technically challenging or impressive the project is, like how many languages did you use, like did you have experience with programming before, stuff like that. And then polish, like does it look like a full thing I could actually use, or does it look more like in the works like a prototype? Originality, like is it actually creative? And then usefulness, like how likely, if I were to actually use this project as like an actual product, like would it actually work? So this is just an example from VT Hacks, but yeah, this is some things you can consider. And I think just overall, just communicating those things helps to convey to the judge like the quality of your hack, and it kind of shows like that your hack took like a few days to make, like the whole amount of time. So with my experience as a judge, this will all kind of get into just like stuff I've seen that I like or don't like. I want to see all of your group's efforts, whether your hack was successful or not. Personally, doesn't matter too much to me. I really want to see all the things your project did, even if, like, say there's a feature that was really important, but you only got to work on it like halfway because, I don't know, you couldn't finish it in time or something like that. I would still mention it just because it sticks out to a judge, like, you know, showing that you put in the effort. But also, like, if the solution was created, like, what actually tackled the issue effectively. Like, this depends on the judge, right? Because, you know, different judges judge differently. But me personally, I kind of can't ignore it if a solution, if it actually were implemented, would probably cause more harm than good. So, as an example, right, at a previous hackathon that I was working at, there's one group that I was mentoring that their idea was basically that they wanted to create an AI tool to redistrict schools in order to reduce discrimination. That was their idea. So depending on who you are, especially someone like me who's from a more underrepresented background, you may see a lot of problems with that immediately. But let's like break it down. Like, why is using AI to redistrict schools to reduce discrimination a problematic like project idea? So let's think about it. Actually, first, put in chat as I talk about this. Put in chat when I give you that idea, like what sticks out to you as like things you think could be problematic about it. Like, put in chat right now. I'm actually curious to kind of see like what ideas you have about like, you know, why you think that might not be the best thing. Yeah, I'll just keep going into it. So outside of just being potentially biased on like race, gender, etc., due to like lack of data, which technically is true for all machine learning projects because there's only so much data you can have. But especially if you're trying to use something that reduces discrimination, you usually have to be very particular about how you're choosing your data set, which is something a lot of people actually ignore, which I think isn't great. But also you should just think about, but also they just seem very focused on the AI portion. Like, I think they mainly just wanted to do something with AI, which is great. But also I think they focus a bit too much on that rather than the actual issue. So if you were looking into the actual issue, right, let's say, like, come up with some questions like, why aren't all school districts just like squares? Like, stuff like that, and think about why that isn't the way things are, would kind of helps to think about the actual issue itself. So for example, like one reason I can think like it wouldn't be that way is because, like, you know, people have different, you know, roads are structured differently, right? So different neighborhoods are more long, some are more clustered. So that changes things. And so, for example, if your AI were to redistrict a school, like, would it suddenly turn a 10-minute commute into an hour commute? Because some roads are very long. Or would like a student have to transfer away from their friends, since they live like slightly further away? And if students were moved, like, how would that impact like the school's population and budgeting? Because you know, different school, like for example, more low-income schools may not be able to support as many students as effectively as, say, a school that's bigger and with more funding. And also the big question to me is, if underrepresented students were moved to a school that's very white, would they even be accepted? Like, that's the thing to me, is like their aim that they say is they want to reduce discrimination, right? But that's a very vague term, first of all. Yeah, that's a few reasons that I think it could be problematic, and that's why I think researching your issue, especially if you're doing like a social good issue, is so important in hackathons, because, you know, these things are complex, and, you know, I don't expect you to have a perfect solution. I don't think anyone can really do that, because these are very complex things. But I want you to kind of show that you took some effort into actually, like, you know, thinking about the issue. So like in that example, what is changing the school districts actually trying to solve? Like, with discrimination, is it about racial discrimination? It's about gender-based discrimination. Why does the school district matter? In that, is it because some of them go to low-income schools and it's like a larger thing? But yeah, you got to think about that. And what are some other better approaches that could kind of solve that problem, is what I would think about. So that's kind of long-winded, but it was just my way of kind of showing like all potential, you know, things that could come up. And if you are having trouble thinking of those things, because, you know, some people may not have knowledge of certain social issues, and that's completely fine. If you have like things like that, like, just go up to your, so for example, if I'm at a MLH event, I am at my MLH booth, I encourage people to just come up and talk to me, whether it's just about MLH, or if they just want to run their project idea by me, like, that's totally cool. Just because I want to make sure people are Like, I'm not gonna do the hack for them, obviously, but I'm just gonna help them kind of, get their project idea going. If they run into like issues with debugging, I'll help them with their programming a bit. Just stuff like that. I think it like MLH coaches are a lot. They're usually not going to say no. That's all I'll say. Is if you have a question, they usually want to answer your question. So I would try to ask more than not. Is what I would say. All right, so that's it for the main presentation. I believe we have actually a 2-hour block here. Let me see. Let me go back to the check-in. Yeah, I believe we do have a 2-hour block here, so I'll be doing stuff after this that may not even be programming related. I might just play a game or something because I have that time anyway. But does anyone have any questions about hackathons, about personal stuff, about anything? Yeah, I'll open this time to any Q&A. And if you have ideas on what you want to see me do for the next hour, because I have another hour, post in chat what you want to see. I believe earlier in the week I did a Pokemon Showdown tournament, so if you want to see me play some Pokemon Showdown, I could do that. Or play like a different game, I could definitely do that. So if you have ideas, post them in chat. If you have questions, post those in chat as well. I think in the meantime, while people are getting their questions and stuff in, might as well play some Pokemon Showdown. So yeah, I'll answer all your questions. I guess I'll just do this in the meantime because I have another hour anyway. But yeah, post whatever you want in chat. All right, let's see. I guess I'll just do random battle. Let me start off with this. Yeah, let's do some random battles. So in this format, you're just given a random Pokemon team and you battle players online. Let's see what we're gonna do here. So, okay, this is a good matchup. So, opponent has a Druddigon, which is a Dragon type. I'm a Fairy, so Fairy's immune to Dragon. I think I'm free to Moonboss here. They may have a Steel type. Do I have anything for Steel types? Maybe Steelix? I feel like I could just Moonblast. Yep. So I feel like I'm confident they don't have a Steel type. Okay, they Gunk Shot. So Dragon is pretty bulky. I'll give it that. Let's see. Let's see, it's 129. I could rather just go Mr. Mime here, because if I Dazzling Gleam... Yeah, Dazzling Gleam here should KO. Or... I'll just Psychic. Actually, no, I'll Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, I'm faster, so should KO here. Okay, does KO. So now it's 1-1. Let's see what the next mon is. Alright, they have Indeedee, so they changed their terrain. Probably gonna Psychic. Gonna Expanding Force here. I feel like Mandibuzz is a decent switch, and Indeedee doesn't really get any fair moves, as I recall, but... Yep, Expanding Force, I'm immune, nice. I could foul play, I could Toxic, anticipating the switch. Indeed doesn't have a ton of physical attacks, so I feel like I'll Toxic. Hello MLH, I'm a team leader at a scientific club in Algeria. How can I contact you to collaborate? Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear how you're interested in collaborating, but for your MLH inquiries, send an email to hi@mlh.io, that's probably the best place to send your inquiry, and then we'll get back to you from there. All right. So in the game, okay, so they did switch to Lostal, so it was good for Toxic. It is also good because I don't have a great switch in here. 3-man Timber was already weak to ice. Foul play? Didn't do much. Flame Body. Yep, Stone Edge. I'll switch to Celix just because. Just gonna say Havoc. I'll switch to Celix just because. Yeah, just to get some more chip from Toxic. Okay, thank you. Yep, no problem. If anyone has any other questions about basically anything, just post them in chat. Stone Edge. They're probably gonna use a fire move. I'll just sack Manipas. Yep, fine. It's base 102. So I should be able to KO. Trevenant's also faster, but I want to go. I'll go Mr. Mime just so I don't reveal too much of my team. I'll just Psychic here because I'm faster anyway. I really want to battle someone real quick. How's this game work? Is this someone in the stream? I feel like this might be someone in the stream. If it is someone in the stream, after this match I can actually go into like how to actually play Pokemon, because you know a lot of you might know or might not know. Yeah. So yeah, after this match I'll go into it. So you go to Indeed again. Yeah, that's a very broad question. Let's see. Have a good switch. I'm not faster. 86. You think I might be faster. No, I'm not. Crap. I'll go to Steelix just because I really don't want to sack Mr. Mime because it's very fast. I'll Heavy Slam here. Oh, nice! I take it out. All right, it's 4-3. Yeah, I'll just sack. Ooh, went for a sword stance. That is not good. Alright, I don't know if anyone's new has joined, but I'm just chilling for the next hour because the workshop Beginner's Guide to Hackathons is done. So I'm just taking any hackathon related questions or just gaming related questions. If there's stuff you want me to do, just post in chat and we could play that. Yeah. Alright, so check out Steelix. They're gonna KO these two. Fighting move's probably gonna KO as well. Maybe knockoff doesn't. Well, actually, there's swords in. Probably should have gone Calyrex. Poltergeist. Got KO'd. I wish Trevenant had Shadow Snake. If it's Choice Man, that's very good. I don't think it gets... Okay, well, I might as well Dynamax. I don't think I'll live anyway, because Knockout's too strong. Yeah, probably should have Dynamax earlier, but, you know, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just play a bit more. If anyone has questions about how to play Pokemon, if you haven't played before, just ask a question in chat and I'll answer it. Yeah, I guess I'll just go into another match. Alright, so I got, Heatran versus Groudon. Okay, I have an Air Balloon, which is very good. I'll go for the Lava Plume burn. Or, do I have any better? I feel like I'll go for Lava Plume, because getting a burn here would be huge. Didn't realize Groudon was actually faster. Oh yeah, I guess Heatran's like a 3 less base speed. Probably gonna go for ground move. I'll just go Suicune. Maybe just hold, I guess. I have to go to Zapdos. And burn. Don't have ground type. I have a Moongus. Zapdos may have Rain Dance plus Hurricane, or might not. I could Spore here. I think I might just... Yeah, I'll just Spore. Yep, Hurricane. Nice, I get that off. I'll go Colossal here, because I can set up some Stealth Rocks. And then maybe I can hit a Stone Edge. They stay in, so they're probably going to go to Groudon now, but I can get a free Stealth Rocks off, which is nice. Okay, they don't go to Groudon, they go to Lunatone, which I guess also might have ground move. Seems like a pretty free switch to Suicune, so I'll go there. Breath Power, I might as well Calm Mind, because they seem to have a lot of special attackers, and I know I can take another hit from Groudon. Go to Executor. Yeah, it probably has Wood Hammer or something, so that's not good. Executor doesn't really get any ground moves, I don't think, so I'll just go back to Colossal. If anyone new has joined, I'm gonna be for you for the next hour because the Beginner's Guide to Hackathons workshop is already over. So post anything you want me to play in the chat, or if you have any questions about hackathons or anything else, just post those in chat as well. I got a Lunatone. I mean, I guess I'll just go back to Suicune. I mean, I have Rest anyway. Wait, how much? Oh. Yeah, I'm good. Yep, I'll just rest. Okay, that makes me question why they didn't use Psychic earlier. Man, that did a lot. I am very Psychic weak. If I can sleep, talk, scald? No. This is not looking good. Because I think I have to set Suicune. Yep. Psychic takes me out. Do I have anything that's faster? I do have Coalfish, so Coalfish can KO with Water Ball. Chess? Yeah, I could play some chess in a bit. Yeah, probably after this match. Okay. I'll probably Toxic Spikes. I'll go for Toxic Spikes again. If it doesn't wake up, I'll go for Discipline. If it does, I'm fine second Coalfish, because setting up hazards is probably its best use. Yep, so I'll just Destiny Bond. Yep, gets it taken out because Destiny Bond, nice. I think I'll go to Heatran, because if they go Groudon, I can just switch and they take more poison damage. Yeah, pretty even right now. I go Hydreigon. Hydreigon, does Hydreigon get Earth Power? He gets a lot of special moves. If it does get Earth Power, that's very dangerous because I'm very ground weak. I'll go Beware just in case. Nasty Plot. Okay, this is very not good. Does it get Heat Wave? I think it does get Heat Wave. It's not a great position. And this Colossal doesn't have Steam Engine, because if it had Steam Engine, I'd get a huge power or speed boost. Yep, Dynamax. Okay, so it just goes from Wormwind to cover. What? You folks are playing Pokemon Shut Up? Yep, we are. Playing pretty much anything. I'll go to Heatran, good special defense. All I can really do is bank that it doesn't have, what's it called? Ground. It doesn't, which is nice. I deal 29%. Goes for Darkness. Yeah, takes me out. Yep, I'll just Spore. They might anticipate the Spore and go to Exeggutor. But if they do, they lose their special attack boost. Other way, not looking great here. See. Gorgeous. Save that up. Yeah, because the chat seems a little bit split. So I'll just put a poll. So if you want, Pokemon Showdown or chess, or like if you have a preference, just put that down in chat. Alright, that's probably it, because Colosso, yeah, definitely doesn't outspeed anything, so yep, I'll just forfeit. Let's see, are there any other modes? Let's do monotype random. So monotype is a format where basically all of your team shares the same type. So for example, I can have a Gyarados and a Swampert because they're both water types, even if they're not pure water types, as long as they share. Honestly, anything is fine. Cool. And as I mentioned, if you have questions about hackathon stuff, post this in chat as well. Okay, looks like we got a rock team. Don't have sand. Oh, we do have Gigalith. Do we have many other stealth rocks? We actually don't have any other stealth rock setters. So getting up rocks is important here, so I'll do that. Yep, set up for some rocks. I'll go for light screen and then switch to Gigalith because rock types get a 50% special defense boost in sand, which will make me pretty tanky against Mewtwo. Hopefully it doesn't have like Nasty Plot or some boosting move, because then it'll get really dangerous. Okay, I guess they forfeit. I'll take it. Alright. Okay, so we have Monograss. Do they have Monograss? Okay, they have to have Monograss because Maractus is a pure grass. So it's a grass versus grass matchup, which is interesting. What do I go for here? I'll go to Ferrothorn just in case it has knockoff or something. Yep, it does have knockoff. It does knock off my leftovers though. And I can't Leech Seed because they're all grass types. That's definitely positive on their end, but I'll go for Gyro Ball, see what that does. Setting up spikes. Yep, we'll just take it out here. Maybe it would have been better to go into Darude because it resists knockoff, but what can you do? I can change this. Sure, I'll change it to, yeah, I'll change it to that. Alright, so go into Eldegoss, another pure grass. Yep, not doing anything, so I'll just keep Gyro Balling. I don't recall Eldegoss having great coverage. I know it's mostly like a utility mon. Yeah, I don't think that's a great switch in for them, but I mean, I'll take it. Alright, I can use Protect to scout as well. Alright, they have an Exeggutor. I'll just Protect just to scout what it has. Okay, so it does have Flamethrower, so that's good to know. Yeah, Yeah, I don't want to switch anything in here. We'll just stack. Okay, so it actually went for Trick Room. Oh well, I'm actually at a Gyro Ball PP. So it's 128. Yep, so it underspeeds everything. And what Trick Room does is it makes it so that the turn order is reversed, so all the slower Pokemon go first instead of the faster ones. Let's see. I guess I'll go for Psychic. Okay, Flamethrowers me. I Psychic. Takes it down most of the way. No, actually, it will die to Life Orb damage. I'll probably just go Flapple and Sucker Punch because Priority ignores Trick Room's speed order stuff. Oh my god, it avoided. I'm so mad. Abomasnow, not a great matchup. I don't really have any good switch-ins. I want to keep Flapple because it has great sweeping potential. But no, I just yeah, as I shared. What shall we do? Actually, probably should have gone to Zarude. Yeah, that would have been the better switching because it could have bulked up. I don't know if it's a purely physical Abomasnow. I'll lift just in case, but I might, yeah, has Blizzard. I'll just T-Vault. Yeah, Birdem wasn't the best switching, so it probably would have been better. But I mean, it's also like a mixed Abomasnow anyway. I'll go for Bulk Up. I'll Dynamax into Max Darkness just because yeah. Blizzards, alright. Yep, I'll just Max Darkness again, that's fine. Alright, I take it out. So it's actually even now. But they also have Dynamax. They haven't used theirs yet. I guess I'll just Darkness. Yep, they Dynamax. Probably gonna max Ooze. Yep. I could go for Darkest Lariat. I guess I'll go for Jungle Healing though, just to see if I can live, because stalling out a turn here would be huge, but no, I can't. Earthquake would be bad if it doesn't have another part poison type. Let's get Poltergeist. Yep, yeah, it probably has Sledge Bomb, probably gonna KO. Yep, KOs. GG's. Yeah, that was a grass versus grass matchup, which is not common. It's usually two different types, but that was interesting, I'll say. Alright, more Pico, Hatterene. Alright, so I'm Mono Psychic. It'll be bad if they're Mono Dark, because Dark would counter me completely. In which case, saving Hatterene would be very important. I'm actually pretty electric weak. feel like I'll just go Psychic. Oh wait, I'm so dumb. It's a Dark type. That was dumb. That was dumb. Yeah, I'll just sack. What can I go for? These three are weak to electric. I'll agility just to set up a bit. Then I'll EQ. Oh wait, I forgot that. Okay, I never fight more Picos, so I forgot that Aura Wheel boosts your speed. And I guess I didn't notice. I thought I was boosting something else. Yeah, that's okay. Those two deaths were just on me being dumb. But I can go for Nastapod. Man, that does a lot of damage. Hold on. Word slash data. Or Pico. Yeah, its special attack is like, or its attack is 95, so I guess that's alright. If I don't Dynamax, it's just gonna sweep, so I guess I'll Flare. Yep, takes me out anyway. I'll just forfeit. That's wasn't a great match. Let's see. We could try random doubles. Doubles is a format where you use two Pokemon at the same time. So I got Scizor, Golduck, Skarmory, Incin. No protect. Well, I do have Protect. I'm not slower than Skarmory. I think I can Calm Mind. Okay, so fix out. What do I switch? Go to Keldeo, I'll Encore Skarmory. Yep. It probably has Body Press, which is why it's Iron Defensing. Don't want it to do that. I could just double Muddy Water here, which I think I will. See how much that does to Skarmory. Actually, I'll Calm Mind in Muddy Water. Yeah, just because I don't know what it's switching to. Okay, that's something I actually didn't know, is Dynamax ignores Encore. Did not know that. UC seems like an okay option. I'll Thunder Wave. I guess I could just Muddy Water just to potentially lower its accuracy a lot more and be annoying. Thunder Wave, I'll Psychic, and then I could Calm Mind here, I think. I said to go Tauros. Helping Hand, Muddy Water. Paralyzed now. Okay, I have Citrus. Am I paired? No, I'm not paired. Does a lot of damage. I don't have any great switches. I'll just Muddy Water, I guess. Okay, so interesting. Tracy body press by avoid. That muddy water accuracy drop is coming in handy. Alright. Right, they got Auroras. Actually doing alright here with Golduck. Actually, I think I'll Stealth Rock and Calm Mind. Yep, it protected. Ah, yeah, Body Press. I'm not sure why they didn't grab that before, but, you know. T-Wave, Thunderbolt, just to get rid of this Skarmory because it has a lot of boosts. Oh, it restored using Citrus Berry, so the Thunderbolt didn't even KO. That was before the Aurora. Great. That is not great. Maybe I should have Dynamax. I was considering it, but I didn't think I needed it. Psychic... Moonblast? Yep, Ice Psychic. Moonblast hits. Blizzard. Right now, Landoon and Scizor. So he may go for the Flare Blitz, but I'm actually predicting, because I'm in kind of a not great situation. Oh wait, no, he might not fake out because I have extreme speed. Yeah, I'll protect just be safe actually. Yep, Flare Blitz, Blizzards. All I can really do is Belly Drum. Probably should have done that first turn, but I didn't know how much E-Speed would do. The attack drop definitely matters. I'll try and Bug Bite, I guess. Yep. Take me down. Let's just go back to random battles. Show Pokemon stream? Yeah, show Pokemon stream. I'm gonna be going at it for maybe 15 minutes or so longer. We already finished the Beginner's Guide to Hackathon workshop. So yeah, I'm just playing some Pokemon, answering questions about tech stuff, hackathons, all sorts of stuff. Alright, got a Gengar. I feel like I'm gonna switch to Umbreon here. Okay, they have Girder. They have Knockoff. Yeah, they almost definitely have Knockoff. As long as they don't predict my switch, I think I'm gonna go to Hatterene. Because with Fairy Iris, yeah, my Fairy typing I should be fine against Living 1 Knockoff. Taking 2 would be not great. And okay, I guess they'll still just forfeit. Let's go for another game. Alright, okay, they have a Mewtwo. Really now. They probably just one-shot me, right? Yeah, I'll go Grimsnarl. Corviknight. I don't have fighting coverage. Probably gonna go for Iron Head. How much does Iron Head do to Klefki? I'm actually interested. Okay, it has bulk up, which is scary. I think I'll set up spikes. Not like super worried about bulk up because realistically I have Rotom, which outspeeds, so I could probably Dynamax and outco it. But getting spikes up is very good. Body press. Alright, so it seems like I can get up a third layer. Yeah, oh yeah, that's maxing out. 201, yeah, I do outspeed. If it Dynamaxes now, I mean, I guess I could select something else, and then I would be getting rid of their Dynamax. Yeah, it's probably just gonna max out here. Max Lightning. They're probably gonna Dynamax here, but I also have some other fast Pokemon. Corviknight is pretty slow. Yep, Dynamax, Max Lightning. Doesn't KO, which is interesting. Yep, that's speed. I actually don't have many defensive Pokemon. That's not Klefki, I guess, but all Psychic. Man, I just have physical attackers left. Knock off. Yeah, that's probably it. Alright, I'll do one more match, and then I will sign off. Alright, this next match is going to be the last one for me. So, if you have questions, feel free to put them in chat now. Alright. Steelix versus Porygon 2. It probably has Bolt Beam, which isn't a super big worry, so I'll just Dragon Dance. Yep, and it had a water, so... Actually, I probably could have just predicted that. But Slowbro's fine. Shell Smash. That 2-time speed is problematic. Okay, so it is a physical, or it might just be mixed actually. I'll Lugia. Toxic. I have multi-scale, which is good. Yep, take less from that initial hit. I can go to Slowbro here, just to get some chip with Toxic. Are they gonna predict it? Oh, they predict it. Oh my god, I'm frozen. I guess I'll just Air Slash, yeah. Okay, then oh wait, they tried to over predict. But now are they gonna under predict? Okay, so now I take the ice beam. And now I can slack off. Okay, so they actually didn't kill my Lugia. So now I actually have it for next turn. So that's a bit of some fun Pokemon predicting. Alright. Dialga. It gets Fire Blast. The reason I'm probably switching is because that's Thunderbolt. So I'll just go Palisand. Or it has Toxic. I'll Scorching Sands. See what that does. Actually, Steelix. Yeah, Steelix has Earthquake, so I'll Stealth Rock, actually. Alright, Stealth Rocks. Oh, it switches to Persian, or Alolan Persian. Steelix, I guess. Nasty Pod. Even if I Dragon Dance, I won't outspeed it, so I'll just go for heads. Oh my god. Hypnosis. Wow, Head Smash only did 29. I guess it does have Fur Coat. But wow. Hypnosis has 65% accuracy, if you don't know. Yeah, so that's annoying. But what are you gonna do? It's fast. Might just be GG here again. Sucker Punch probably won't do much, so I don't even bother. Yep, okay, I guess they forgot about Sleep Mod. Yep. I guess just Oko's giving me here, yeah. Code Max Geyser, Plowing not gonna do much. Okay, live on 4. Alright. Goes into Guzzlord, I'll Hailstorm, I guess. Yep, knock off. Gets the Beast boost, which is scary. All Dragon Dance. What does it go for? Okay, it does have Max Flare. Hit Smash. Yep, that's a GG. Alrighty, well, thank you all so much for coming to the stream. If you do have further questions about MLH, hackathons, whatever, feel free to make a message in Discord, or if I come to your nearby MLH hosted hackathon, that'd be cool too. But yeah, thanks for coming.